In today's episode, we are paying a visit to the mighty former capitals of Japan, Kyoto and Nara. Although we may not be able to dive into the romantic world of the tale of Genji, they are packed with other stories to revisit, imagine, and learn from. And I cannot wait to take you along with me as I dip my foot into the chronicles of previous emperors' native lands. After a 2-hour ride on the Shinkansen, we are finally here, in the city of temples, history, matcha, yuba, traditional architecture, and many, many more. With Uji, the birthplace of the world's best matcha, being just south of Kyoto, the selection of matcha-flavored sweets, drinks, and dishes is bountiful here. So, we couldn't head off to the hotel before getting our dose of matcha and cafe first. So here we are at Walden Woods, Kyoto. A refreshing, very sweet matcha drink called for a walk, so let's join the cyclists and workers on breaks along the Kamo River, with a slight detour on our way back to Kyoto Station. The hotel we are staying at is quite removed from any restaurant, and the dining options in the hotel are completely out of my budget. So I ended up getting some food from the Debachika at Kyoto Station instead. The hotel we are staying at tonight is called ROKU Kyoto and is a 40-minute bus ride and an 11-minute walk from Kyoto Station. I took the 6th city bus to a station called Hitako no Hatacho and walked from there. Luxury, opulence, and probably many more adjectives that I can use to describe this place. But the wooden architecture and bodies of water around the area instantly released any tension in my muscles and propelled a long, deep breath. I'm heading over to the onsen pool. Apparently it's hot spring water and a pool, and it's warm throughout the year, so I'm really excited to try that one out. It started raining while I was at the onsen pool, and it was so refreshing being able to be outside in the rain without a care in the world of my clothes or belongings getting wet. The sound of the rain was also incredibly calming, and I just watched the rain create diamond shapes as it bounced off the surface of the pool. I just finished taking a bath with the bath salt they had, and it's just been so refreshing just spending a day at the pool, taking a bath, and being surrounded by so many trees. I definitely do feel out of place. Looking around me, it looks like all the people here look very established. I mean, I'm sure there are others who are here with the coupon too, but still. I decided to take a morning walk in the morning. I walked around the hotel premises and ran into this cute friend by the telephone box. He apparently wanted to share his fish stories with his pals back home in Hokkaido. I wanted to hear more, but my stomach was rumbling, and it was time to head over to Tenjin for breakfast. The breakfast was half a buffet. You could order a main dish from the menu and then get anything from the buffet along with it. It was the perfect mix of traditional Japanese breakfast dishes, Western breakfast food, and tons of fruits and vegetables to fuel us up for the day ahead. Within a 13-minute walk from the hotel was Kinkakuji, a Zen Buddhist temple in Kyoto, known to be covered with pure gold leaf. The temple was initially a retirement villa of the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, and then became a Zen temple after his death in 1408. The entrance fee was 500 yen, and the view of Kinkakuji reflected onto the pond, surrounded by nature, was stunning to say the least. Knowing that it was burned down multiple times and then restored each time added to my appreciation of the space, knowing that it took commitment throughout generations for us to be able to see this today. A bus ride to Kyoto Station, and then a 2-station trip on the Nara line to Inari Station leads us right to the entrance of the Fushimi Inari Taisha. This shrine was founded before Kyoto became the capital in 711 and is dedicated to Inari, the deity of good harvest and business success. This is why many individuals and companies all over Japan dedicate torii gates to this shrine, either as a thank you for previous success or in hopes for future prosperity. There were a bunch of vendors lined up by the entrance as well, so I decided to get an odango with some miso poured over it. Later, I headed back to Kyoto Station, grabbed another matcha latte there, and walked over to my hotel to drop off my luggage before my next trip. I passed by the Higashi Honganji Temple, which holds the ashes of Shinran, the founder of Shin Buddhism. This temple also has a hall that is Kyoto's largest wooden structure, so if you do have the time when you visit, I would highly recommend taking a tour of this place too. After dropping off my luggage at the hotel and feeling a lot lighter, I headed off to Arashiyama, home to spots such as the Bamboo Grove, Togetsukyo Bridge, and Tenryuji Temple, which was around a 40-minute trip on the 73 Kyoto bus. According to JapanGuide.com, this place has been a popular destination since the Heian period, where nobles would come to enjoy the nature here. Due to its geography surrounded by mountains, Kyoto is known to have extremely hot summers and brutally chilly winters. But constantly having views of mountains all around you is a very grounding feeling. The world feels so much bigger and more airy, and my steps become slower and softer. They put me in tune with the world around me and allow me to distinguish the artificial boundaries and limitations my mind creates. Towns with views of both oceans and mountains have always been my favorite destinations, and Arashiyama brought back all those feelings and memories. Let's try a different mode of transportation on our way back to the hotel, using the Walden tram from Walden Arashiyama Station to Nishioji Sanjo, and then transfer to a bus. It's not the most direct way, but taking a different mode of transportation is always fun. And we get to see various sides of the city. I'm eating my tofu from the supermarket that came with this little pack of tsuyu. I actually don't know what tsuyu is in English. It's like in the middle of soy sauce and teriyaki sauce. It's like a slightly sweetened soy sauce. I don't know. But this tofu from the supermarket came with this little pack of tsuyu that I mix, and it's just so good. Kyoto is known for their tofu, so I really wanted to try a normal tofu in the supermarket here. And it was only 193 yen, and this was 555 yen. So total, I only spent in total, I only spent 740 yen. Am I doing the math? Around 740 yen for this dinner, and it's a nice simple dinner because if I think about it, this tofu and these two combined was 500 yen from the supermarket, and the one stick of cheese yuba that I had at Arashiyama an hour ago was also 500 yen. So they're the same price, which is crazy. I feel like I'm getting so much from 500 yen at the supermarket. But I guess it is a tourist spot, so they have to charge up the prices. But honestly, this is one of my favorite things I had in Kyoto so far. This little bowl of tofu. Kyoto tofu is so good. Very nice toilet. And very nice bed. Today, we're heading to Nara, and it is time to head over to the long-awaited destinations Nara Park, Todaiji, and Kasuga Taisha. A 51-minute train ride on the express Kintetsu Kyoto line, with 34 minutes on the Kintetsu Limited Express from Kyoto Station, takes you to Kintetsu Nara Station. The deer range from ones that bowed politely to get some deer crackers, to aggressive ones that pulled your clothes when they saw the crackers in your hands. And it felt like the perfect depiction of Charles Darwin's survival of the fittest in action. I bought some of the biscuits because I wanted to give some to the more reserved, quiet deer, but had no success because I sadly ended up giving in to the violent demands of the bigger, more aggressive deer. That being said, the over 1,000 deer around Nara have become symbols of the city and are considered to be the messengers of the gods. So even the more violent ones are worth the most utmost respect and deserve all the deer biscuits available. After tea time with the deers, where we talked about the latest gossip of the deer aristocrats, I headed towards Todaiji, one of Japan's most famous and historically significant temples. It was said to have grown so powerful that the capital had to be moved away from Nara to lower the temple's influence on government affairs. Personally, this was the temple I was most excited to see, as I remember seeing pictures of it in my textbooks and wondered what it would be like to visit it in person. The size of the Great Buddha may be a little hard to grasp, but for context, I'm around 5'2", and I would be around the size of the palm. That is how big the Great Buddha at Todaiji is, and it added to the awe I felt seeing it. Our last stop before heading back was the Kasuga Taisha, which was built in 786 by the Fujiwara clan that dominated Japanese politics until the 11th century. It was established at the same time as the capital and is dedicated to the deity that is responsible for protecting the city. After heading back to Kyoto to get my luggage, it was time to say goodbye to our very short but extremely gratifying trip. Thank you for coming with me throughout both the luxurious and not so glamorous parts of the trip, and I hope you were able to find some fun moments amongst both extremes. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful night and the most handsome deer coming to pass on a very exciting message for you tomorrow.